we're out here in Roseville, California to investigate for a very wonderful couple and their cute little puppy dog to get some answers on some paranormal activity, to determine the nature of a haunt, what's going on, why is it happening, what can they do to manage it? Are there other mitigating factors? We had a little bit of just a general conversation ahead of time, but obviously not going into very much as we go into every case quite cold. We don't want a lot of leading information. But I started to sense that there has been or is some gifted and or medium type of people in the home, some sensitives have lived here, and that was confirmed by our client. One of the daughters is very, very in tune and has had a lot of experiences, and apparently during her puberty and early youth years, a lot more activity was happening, and since she's moved, things are now calming down here and there. But apparently mom is also a little bit gifted too. And I think it sounds like dad's got a little something going on too. So I think that's why there's still some energy flowing through the space, but we don't know the nature exactly of what the spirits have been doing. We don't know any of the claims completely yet, and we don't know what areas of the house any of the activity is or what type of activity we're going to encounter. What it sounds like is we've got a couple of lighthouses living in the home and or being in the home frequently, and therefore it's starting to turn into 7-Eleven sometimes, where they just think, the dead think that they can come in 24 hours. So I'd like to get some answers for this family. Who is here? Why are they here? Can they please calm down a little and not bother our clients so much? And also educate and empower our clients to know that this is their space. This is where they live, where they belong. The dead are not paying rent. So they need to simmer down and not be so rowdy. If they need some answers, or they want to get their message across, then we'll be here to hear the other side. We'll be here to facilitate those messages and that information from the deceased. I am feeling a few different energies. I felt at least 4 so far. So I'm not sure who they all are yet. They're not all popping through all the way. I did see a male walk by just a minute ago and kind of wandering behind me. And so I don't know who he is just yet. He hasn't really spoken to me. And there's a female that seems to be having some pressure in the neck. And I'm also having some throat and respiratory discomfort with her. And then there's a couple of other energies that just seem to be kind of like just waiting, like almost for permission to engage. So I think we will give them some permission within boundaries to engage with us, get some answers, maybe a little more descriptions from them, see if they can tell me something about themselves. And also if they just need help, or maybe they're just here to help them. It could be that simple. They could just be here to help. But nonetheless, our job is to find answers and solutions. See what we can do. That's very cute.
That is cute. I noticed that right off.
Almost Swedish.
Mm-hmm.
You can always tell a Swede, you just can't tell them much. I say this because I'm 38% Swedish. And a whole lot of Irish. And a bunch of other random things, but I definitely recognize the design. Yeah, that has an interesting, I don't know why, it has a vibration to it. It has a maybe just residual energy from just being in the space for...
It was for my father, for my daughters when they were babies.
Ah.
And now my granddaughter uses it.
Okay. Because it's got a lot of, like, I could just feel, like, the tingling from, I'm like, oh, it's alive. But it's a positive feeling, and it attracted me. I was like, I like it. But, yeah, no, it carries a lot of love and a lot of history.
Oh.
Wow.
So, it's Not hurting anybody, but it definitely got my attention.
Yeah.
Like it was, honestly, it was that male energy that walked over here that drew my attention to it. Like he wanted me to come look at it. He was like, come look at the chair. Okay, I looked at the chair. Are you happy now? I have more to show you. What? What do you want to show me now? Very stoic outside, but like, oh, such a big teddy bear. Such a big teddy bear. Really just very, very sweet energy of just like tough, but no, not really tough. Not when you peel the layers back. Although I can get down into somebody's soul, even if they don't want me to see that deeper down, sensitive, vulnerable side. Ah, yeah, sharp pain in this area now with some. I don't know why it's hurting in here, but there's a whole pain going on in through here with one of the souls. Deep abdominal pain. It's very uncomfortable, almost like an intestinal issue or like diverticulitis or something. Very uncomfortable.
Tell me when you're gonna do these things.
Sorry, she dragged me over here. She's like, "What are you doing? Where are you going?" I'm going over here, ma'am. She pointed that out.
Little pewter.
Yeah,
Little sugar thing?
yeah. It's like she drew me to the kitchen. Something going on here. Even strokes can cause that kind of pain. It's not comfortable though. That was painful. I almost feel like if you were in one room, suddenly you would hear something that sounded like it fell over, or like a little tinkling or a clatter somewhere else in the house, and you go and try to see what it is. That's the kind of sensation that I'm getting. Like, you know, you're over here, and then over there you're getting racket kind of thing. That sort of energy. I wonder if they knock at the door. Because I almost get the feeling like something is standing out there, but I don't know what it is. Like someone's out there like, hello? And Avon is not calling. We don't want to answer. But I get like a lot of auditory phenomena right there. Let's see. Hello, puppy dog.
How are you, Sebastian?
The puppy's in jail.
Oh no.
I gotta go in every room. Oh, that didn't. Woo! Oh, this is woo. Oh, that's a chill. That's weird. This is like a something's going on right here. This is really weird. I'm like in the middle of weirdness central. Like all of a sudden things are like very active here. A lot of this is loud. What is happening in this space? It's busy. Like all of that hall area and like these rooms, like it's all of a sudden it's like bowling with the dead. This is, I mean, it's literally like they're tap dancing. There is like this clatter that is just like bing, 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 bing. This is what I'm hearing. I'm literally like this.
Really?
This is like I'm like bum 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 bum. Like what's happening? Like this is.
It's just like
What the hell are they doing?
bouncing off the walls.
Calm down, dead people. Slow down. Simmer down. That man keeps following me. He is. Oh, so. I felt a tightness in my throat, but I also felt a tightness right here in the belly, and like I don't know why. It's not always something they died from, but sometimes they'll show me different parts of the body they might have had issues in, because I feel like almost like a bubbliness right up in here, just like like maybe ate too much, kind of like a bloated feeling, and then I just felt a little itchy in the throat, which allergies, asthma, I mean any of those things can give me that sensation. He's like, I am too tough. Don't tell people I'm sensitive. But you are. I am not. Yes, you are. Interesting man. There seems to be a younger male for some reason wandering around the space, and I don't have any idea who he is at all. He hasn't talked to me at all yet. But he seems to be, he seems to be a younger gentleman. And I can't figure out who he is. Seems like a nice enough kid, but sort of hesitant to talk to me for some reason. Ooh, sharp back. Oh, yeah, that was painful. Grabbed right in the lower back, like almost just twisted right in this lower back region. Something clamped. Wonder which one that's coming from. It almost caused like a sciatic type of thing, like an inability to comfortably walk. FYI, your renovation's going to kick it up for a little while, so you're going to want to have a stock of Palo Santo or sage. Yeah, we will arm you with the information.
Oh, that was was that a clock on the thermostat that I was hearing? What was the buzzing sound there?
It's
Okay.
kind of an old school.
Yeah, cool. Just so I know what I'm hearing.
Yeah.
What is that? Ooh, it's almost dizzying. Ears are ringing loud in here. This is very loud ringing. Very loud ringing. This is like I get the feeling of waking up startled and expecting to see something and or maybe thinking you're seeing something. Like it's like a startling effect. I feel startled. That's the sensation that I'm getting. It's like, ooh, like you wake up like, hello. Like it's a sudden start feeling. My ears are ringing really loud in here. I mean, it's very loud. And I'm also feeling more abdominal discomfort in this space, and I don't know what that's about. And sometimes when I feel these things again, it's going to be in a chakra that might be imbalanced in somebody. It could be from the living, and it can be from the deceased. Both can be true. I don't know why, but I'm seeing other animals in here. Besides, I think there's one under the bed, but I think I see other animals in the space.
We've had a ton of animals in this house.
They're like jumping.
They're still here.
Somebody's jumping on the bed and just wants to sit right about in here.
Daisy.
Uh-huh.
Well, there's 2 animals buried out in the backyard.
That one's here, so yeah.
Oh, yeah.
You've got.
Because I'm like, boop, boop.
And
then I'm comfortable. It's like they're right there. Hey, everybody has a soul, even the animals.
That's a good question.
There is a there's the one female, but I feel another female in the space that is very nervous and a little bit like kind of just like doing like this with her hands and kind of like kind of just checking things out, and sort of there's a nervous vibration, and I don't know if she just was a nervous personality, but she's just nervous about something and like kind of a consummate worrywart, but just because she cares, it's born out of love and care. It's just, do you have what you need? Are you okay? Is this fine? How do you feel? Very engaged in making sure people are doing okay. Nobody's copying to making all the noises, so I don't know if they're just all running into each other out there.
They all know each other?
I think some of these are connected. Yeah, not all of them necessarily, but I think a couple of them are connected in some way. But with gifted people in the house, you could attract ones that don't belong to you either, unfortunately. So you might have a few that do belong to you, and I really feel like at least a couple of them do. But I think you might have some strays.
Some extra.
Yeah.
You have a couple of stray dead people. They don't quite fit. But the male seems to belong. He seems to for sure belong. The older male. don't know who that younger male is, but the younger one is tripping me up. Can't figure him out.
Teenage years.
He seems very youthful. I mean, I wouldn't put him over 20, but that was just kind of the. They show me something kind of to sort of so my brain can connect them. Like they compare themselves to somebody else I might know, and so that's kind of how they help me figure out a range. But it's kind of difficult because I'm literally seeing like 15 to 25. That's the best I can get with him. But he seems like a neat soul. He seems like a nice, deep down, a really, really good soul. Maybe a little lost in some ways, but a good soul. I mean, he's not stuck. He's not earthbound. He's transitioned. Like he's not stuck. So he's okay, but he's just kind of, I don't know. He's just being reserved with me, and I don't know if that's because he doesn't know me yet, so he's just being cautious at first. Sometimes the dead do that.
Could some of these be my relatives that are
Yeah.
coming through?
Oh, sure.
Yes.
Even if maybe they live back east or.
Oh yeah.
whatever.
Yes.
There's no time and space. It doesn't matter where. Yeah. If they get an opportunity to say hello.
My dad's buried in Baltimore, but he haunts my mom's house here in Sacramento.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah, so-
Precisely. So yeah,
Yeah.
they don't care.
yeah.
Honestly, sometimes they pop up and do things because they just want to be acknowledged that they're here with you. And sometimes if you just say, I know you're here, I love you guys, it's great that you're here, but can you not be weird and creep me out?
Yeah.
Literally talk to them like that. That's all you really have to do.
Okay.
And then,
Truly.
and then especially the ones that I know are connected to you, they'll be like, oh, I'm sorry, and then they'll try to calm down. Now, if there's something they need to get across to you that's important, they will try to send you as many signs and symbols as they can. Those songs on the radio, things on social media, commercials on the TV, they'll try to send you a message if they really need to get a message across to you for something, some reason. So that's when you start listening. If like a whole slew of things start happening and signs, see if there's a common theme. And if maybe they're trying to get your attention, like, go take that vacation or buy that car or, whatever, or they say, or don't go visit that person. They might try to guide you, but some of them are just like, they're not. I'm having this dichotomy with, like, I think some of the dead are causing some of the noise, but I think some of it is psychokinetic energy, which means your own energy when you're feeling different things. If you're not feeling well, if you get a little stressed out, if something going on with somebody else in the family that you're worried about, your energy can launch into the house and start to shift things and move things about too.
Okay.
You can actually do that to your own home. So the grounding and the aura protection will be good to manage that too. But I feel like there's just sort of a heavy confluence of energy that right now I feel like it's pretty much 4 or 5 people, and I think most of them are related some way, shape, or form. Might be one possibly that's just a stray. But I also feel ancestors, so it could be 1, 2, 3 generations back. It doesn't, have to be immediate relatives, but sometimes it can be, or family friends, that kind of thing. But I do feel some energy that's really standoffish, and it's a very shy, quiet female that won't talk to me. I think she's just a little confused where she's supposed to be. So I might want to help her out. She seems a little discombobulated. So, and sometimes when that happens, the other deceased that are helping you and that are part of your network somehow, they'll try to get your attention that there's a soul that needs help. And so sometimes that'll crop up a little activity too. But she is being pretty quiet and sort of just off to the distance. She seems to be probably in her 30s to 40s, and I really see blonde hair on her. And she just seems a little kind of like, nobody's going to notice me. Like she's like kind of just not wanting to engage.
Draw attention to herself.
Yeah, exactly. She's like, I'm not doing anything. I'm perfectly fine. But I feel like she's just a little in need of something. So,
You want the light out back?
I turned it on.
I'm just kind of feeling the energy, just like I keep seeing people pacing around out there. But that's because I see weird things. So,
Not alone.
Yeah, it's a little odd out there, but it's not bad. I just think that sometimes maybe the dead use it as a thoroughfare. As long as they don't come in your house, that's fine. Stay out there. Still with the throat still is catching. It's bothering me a little bit, like a breathing, almost like an apnea, like a sleep apnea issue.
We both have that.
Mm-hmm.
We both have machines.
Really?
Boy.
Oh.
Face huggers for
No
everyone.
wonder I'm suffocating. I'm feeling your stuff. Thanks. I was like, ugh.
Yeah.
Like
And we both have it really bad.
Oh, wow.
I mean, we have
Yeah.
machines on it. It's great. But
Okay,
yeah.
well, good. I'm glad you have a means of taking care of it.
Mm-hmm.
Is that scary?
Very
Yeah, I was
scary.
like, I can't breathe.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, maybe I'm feeling something from one of the previous people that lived here then too. That could be possible then.
It was an older woman. She bought it. She was a realtor. She lived here, and then she bought another home, and then she had it as a rental for a few years before I purchased it.
Oh, it's a lovely home.
It is.
I like
We're
it.
very happy here.
Yeah, no, it's awesome. It's got a good vibe. It's got a good energy.
Definitely.
You guys have put a lot of love and a lot of light into the space.
Mm.
So you've done a phenomenal job. You should get to enjoy it all the time.
Right.
But again, like I was saying, I can't promise you 100% paranormal free, especially with your sensitivity. But we can return the balance to your favor, so where you're no longer feeling like you're out of control with all these dead people wandering around your space. You can be like, okay, well, you're there, that's nice. Okay, now calm down, everyone. This is my space. You may notice if your daughter visits, that activity will spike temporarily.
Mm-hmm.
And so get comfortable smudging.
Mm-hmm.
That's basically what you're going to need to, if you have a party in the house, a lot of friends over, family who are gifted over, when everyone's gone, smudge the house.
Oh, okay.
Because you want to clear out all the residual stuff that they brought, anything that was like energetically going on with them, that they deposited in the space. And of course, if any of them are gifted and they draw random dead people that wander through in, it's like, it's housework. You do a little vacuuming, do a little dusting, and do a little saging. It's all about maintenance. But I really think maintenance is going to be kind of not optional for you. Maintenance is going to be mandatory just because of your inclination and your daughter's inclination. So.
Well, one thing we talked about in the past, the Maidu Indian
Oh
thing
yeah.
over
Yeah,
here,
absolutely.
not that far away. So
Yeah.
I was wondering, during that period of time, is
Yes,
there something
that-
to do with that?
That could draw some energy in for sure, and they could be attracted because obviously the sensitives live here. And maybe that's all the stuff I'm seeing walking around outside, all the people wandering around.
Just be the Maidu.
They could just be having their own fun and having their own time, and they're not concerned with us apparently. They're just doing their own thing, because I did see a whole bunch of people just wandering like, who are these people?
You know what? This used to be an orchard.
Oh,
So that might explain a little more too.
okay. So maybe the residual energy of working the orchard.
Right.
Well, it's still a busy place, but then again, residual hauntings, that's no harm at all. That they're not actually a sentient entity that can interact with you. It's just like a replay loop, like a record player. It's just on loop. You've got your music on loop. So they can't hurt you or interact with you. It's the active energies in the space that we have to make sure we set the rules with. And as long as they listen, we'll be in good shape.
Okay.
So yeah, it's a lot of energy going on in this space, but a lot of it's very happy. It's all a lot really, really positive. I just think that there's sort of not everyone's following the boundary lines completely. They're just, sometimes they get a little excited and maybe they get boisterous about something, and then they go bowling down your hallway. So
Yeah.
I really think that's probably, what's happening. They're not intending on being disrespectful. It just,
A lot of times I go to
accidental.
bed before Susan does, and one night I went, in fact, I don't remember even if you were here or not. You might have been gone, but I went to bed here, and all at once, it's like someone had hard shoes on, and they clump down the hallway. But it's not like,
oh geez.
but it's
Wow.
not like the short hallway. It was like like you see in a movie. It just
Yeah.
took
Plump,
a long
plump,
time,
plump,
a long
yeah.
haul.
Oh, wow.
Whoa.
Well, that's good validation.
Validated
Thank
that.
you.
Yeah, absolutely.
But that is weird. And honestly, they were probably just going about their business. They probably they didn't care what you were doing. They're like, I'm just gonna go this way. Like you were probably irrelevant to their entire equation.
I wish you wore tennis shoes then.
I know, right? Wear some slippers or something.
Yes, really.
Hypothetically, if it was a residual haunt, they had no idea that they were interrupting anybody at all because it's just a memory of somebody who was walking down the hall.
Yes.
And it just
Mm.
replayed. And
Yeah, it was a long haul. It
Yeah.
really felt like it was.
You just got the record player version of somebody walking down the hall.
Exactly.
They didn't care that you were trying to get some sleep. They didn't know. And so in cases like that, all you can really do is just like, whatever, and just let it go because, you don't need to interact with every spirit that wants to interact. You guys have control of that too. If you don't feel like interacting, don't. And if you feel like it's getting too amped up, especially when you do your renovation, keep some sage and some Palo Santo on hand.
Okay.
And just periodically clear out the energy of the space. And I will show you how to do it, but it's really, really easy. Open a couple windows or doors so there's energy exits. Start at your front door with whatever smudge that you choose. And just go through the entire house clockwise and get wafted into all the corners, open closets if you want, just get it into everything. Go around the whole entire house and end back at the front door again. And then just go outside and extinguish whatever your burnable is.
Okay.
Wrap it up safely, that kind of thing. And then just leave the windows open for just a little bit, just so the energy flows, and then close everything up and you're done.
Great.
Okay.
That's the simplified version. I do layers of, cleansing to like 3, 4, 5 layers deep, but that's just like, the maintenance level. And pretty easy to do. Just be mindful of your smoke detectors.
During the renovation, like how often? Maybe once a week or every few days? Or
Depending on how you're feeling about the energy. Since you're a little sensitive.
Just gauge it by that?
Yeah, if you're feeling like, oh, there's too much happening, I feel pressure of too many spirits, break that stuff out and just get it done.
So it just takes a few minutes and you're good to go.
You feel better. Yeah.
Within 10 minutes, you'll be happy and good and rebooted for a while. But, depending on how long the reno takes, you could be doing it once a week for a couple months, however long this takes you. So,
Wow. Okay.
but if you feel good and there's not a lot of activity and they're being respectful, then you don't have to. But once you kind of realize that most of the dead people here belong to you anyway, you can figure out a way to talk to them nice, like, look, you need to calm down. I love you, but knock this off, And if there are spirits that accidentally traipse in, one of them I do, some other random spirit, and you're like, that one doesn't feel like it belongs to me. Break up the smudge and say, okay, well, thank you for visiting. Have a nice day. Time to go. It's last call. You don't have to go home, but you can't stay here.
Yes.
So
Great.
that's really kind of how you just have to manage them.
Great.
Let's continue
Okay.
our
All
walk.
right.